This is Neo Planet S spawning up in the top right-hand position. The red Protoss from SK Telecom, T1. You're going to be hearing that a lot, by the way. It's best.
His opponent spawning as Blue Zerg on the bottom left position on Neo Planet S. His name is Shine, playing for Samsung Han.
Nicknamed the Toilet Zerg.
Or the Typhoon Zerg. That sounds better.
Yeah, like the Toilet Zerg has got to be like the worst nickname ever, but the Typhoon Zerg sounds pretty awesome.
It is.
Is there something on Best and Slip there? It looks like he was making out with a girl and like lipstick got like smeared over a little bit to the side or something.
Well, I was actually able to spot that during the the player introduction. It seems like he actually hurt his lips a little bit. So it looks a little more red.
I guess his makeout sessions are just a little bit too intensive. Yep, so of course this is PvZ on Neo Planet S, and like you said, it's easy to take your natural, a little bit harder to take your third though, but I think once Protoss can secure their third base in this matchup, that's like really that key expansion. Back in the Brood War days, I think I remember hearing that it was all about your fourth base, the secure.
For Protoss players?
Yeah, against Zerg.
Oh, definitely. I mean, some of these maps, it was easier to take the third bases and, cannon up, but taking the fourth base was really tricky. During that time, you had the high-tech units coming out, you had the Zergling with the adrenaline glands, which took down the buildings really quickly, and also the walling in Brood War was completely different, so you had to wall everything completely. But this is Starcraft2.
Yes. And by walling off completely, you mean completely bogus, man. Sometimes it was so tricky to wall off.
Hey, I actually remembered all the walling positions, so I'm good, man.
Yeah. I remember for the Brood War Fighting Spirit, I made little pictures for Liquipedia showing people how to properly wall off on
Everyone did that. Well, Best did go for the Forge first, and saw that his opponent went for the pull first. Now, it seems like Best, he was just trying to delay the hatchery as long as possible, but is not going to deny it.
So he's going to go ahead and move back. Going for the Nexus, of course, after the Forge. It's very, very common to go for a fast expansion behind the Forge or get the Forge slightly after the expansion in this matchup. And we have Paralings on the way from our Zerg player.
I also would like to mention that this is one of the maps where you can do that new Mothership Core expansion because you can use a Pylon and 2 gateways to wall off the natural, get a Zealot out, and use a Mothership Core to defend the natural easily against the Zerglings.
Yeah, we actually saw Bisu do that on the map Fighting Spirit, where he went for that Mothership Core into the expansion.
Yeah, in fact, there's just like few maps out there where you can do it completely, such as Fighting Spirit and Neo Planet S, the 2 biggest examples that I can think of right now.
Alright, so Best, everything so far so good for him. Going very standard, getting that double gas up, of course, along with his gateway. Shine going ahead, and he's going to take that third, it looks like. So very, very standard macro from both players. Not seeing any kind of crazy all-ins or pressure play. We could see a Roche Warren go down for Shine somewhat soon here, but if it doesn't go down, then he will be just playing a standard macro game.
Yes. Well, these early pressured plays, I don't think we're going to see much more of it against Protoss players. They get the Mothership Core out, they could actually defend against some of these early pressure. Granted, even with the Mothership Core, if there's too many units, you still win the game.
Yeah, that's true. So Mothership Core, huge deterrent to pretty much all of the races for attacking Protoss early on, and I felt like that was a really big vulnerability in the Protoss hull, so really cool to see the Mothership be added into the Protoss arsenal and used that way. Yep. Cybernetic score going up for Best. Both players playing very passive. This is the beginning of the game, and we're not seeing anything really from either player so far. We do have a Stargate on the way for Best though, so he is going to be going to the Stargate play, not the Robo play, and he's going to make some Phoenixes, probably do a little bit of harassment.
Yep, you can even go for the Robo right after the Stargate. That's some of the plays that we saw back in Wings of Liberty. They get few Phoenixes out and only use it like a Corsair from the Brood War days, sniping the Overlords, gaining some vision, and also scouting your opponent and see what they are going for. So, I mean, getting the Stargate, I'm not surprised at all. These players, they really want to control the map. But the real planet is, the real plan is, are they going to go Robo after, or are they going to stick to Stargate?
The real planet is SK Planet, by the way.
SK Planet, Neo Planet S.
Indeed. +1 on the way for Best here. Shine just macroing out of control. He's just making nothing but drones right now, and he's working on his lair now as well. And he took his gas kind of late here. That's why he just has his layer now. And we do have Phoenix on the way here, making more of them behind this. Best, I'm curious to see, what do you think his game plan is going to be after he gets a few Phoenixes out?
I'm really not sure. Most players, if they decide to go Robo, they keep the Robo immediately after the Stargate. Granted, they could get it a little bit later, but there's that timing window where their opponent can have a lot of Roaches or even some Hydras mixed in, and Protoss players, they can't take to their base. So we're going to have to see what he does after he clears out, and there we go. We have the Robo going down.
Yes, we do. The Phoenix is doing a good job at taking out these Overlords here. That's going to prevent Shine, of course, from having a lot of map vision. And also now +1 ranged attack on the way for Shine as well. So it looks like he wants to commit to the Roach and Hydra tech, or at least the Roach tech for now.
Oh, definitely. You need one of those two mid-stage in the game, unless you are going for the Mutas. And getting the Roach warm up, getting the Hydras out, there it goes. Pretty much the most common composition that you will see in PvZ.
Yeah, it's like kind of a throwback to the earlier Wings of Liberty days when people would always go Roach, Hydra, Corruptor against Protoss, and now with the Void Ray buff, Protoss players are going Void Ray Colossus again, so if they don't go all Skytox. And we have a little bit of harassment here, looking up some of those drones. Nice micro actually by Best there, like really just, you know, sending his Phoenix all around there and picking up some drones and killing them.
Do you remember the term Dosair from Brood War?
No.
Okay, Best's last name is Dole. Okay, and when you say Dosair, you know, it sounds like, you know, Corsair, but except you just suicide all of your Corsairs. That's what Best was known for, and near the end, okay, you know, I didn't make fun of Best, but near the end of Brood War era, Best, he started having better Corsair micro, and today, with the Phoenix, I'm impressed by his micro.
Yeah. I do remember like some of his hilarious times losing Phoenix or losing Corsairs. So more good harassment from Best here, killing off more of those drones. He's gotten 6 so far, so not bad. It is 60 probes to 67 drones, and it's weird seeing Shine macro up so much. He is really just sitting back, taking a back seat, not being aggressive at all, not worrying really about his you know, position on the map. Map awareness. He's really just sitting back and macroing up, even getting a 4th base. Is this a new Shine? Are we going to see a macro-based Shine?
Well, don't get me wrong, he knows how to play macro games. So, I mean, we love to make fun of Shine for the cheeses because that's what he is known for. But just because he's known for that doesn't mean that he knows how to play macro games. In fact, one of the matches during round 3, I think, on Caldeon 3, he was able to defeat a Protoss player with a macro play.
Ah, that's true. Alright, so looks like we have a little bit of Zergling harassment here. He may be able to snap up a few probes. 1 probe does go down, but all of these Zerglings are going to get easily taken out here. And I have to say, Best has been doing pretty good on the macro side, really keeping up with his opponent there.
And also denying the Zerglings. That's something that's hard to do on Neo Planet S because of the long path from the 3rd base to the natural. You need to focus. You need to wall off that area and possibly put some cannons around the base to make sure that those Zerglings cannot get to their probes and the Nexus.
Actually, look at this. The Mothership Core is just finishing up for Best here, so he got that really late. And we also have a Spire finishing up here. Popular transition has been Hydras, and then you go into the Spire tech, so we could potentially see that, or we could also see some Corruptors as well due to the Colossi.
Yeah, basically what happens is the Hydras come out and the Roaches come out, so the Protoss player gets the Colossus out. When the Colossus comes out, the Corruptors come out. When the Corruptors come out, the Protoss player goes for the Void Rays.
He goes for the Void Rays. Maybe he'll try to go into the Templar tech as well, or just get a lot of Stalkers with Blink. You know, try to snipe off some of the Corruptors.
Well, I think Void Rays is you know, a little more risky, but better composition for the late game because Sky Toss, it looks really scary at this point.
It does, and a lot of Zerg players have actually been really concerned about that unit composition. And I think that eventually it'll get figured out, but you know, if a few months go by and things just seem really out of control, then that's probably when Blizzard will step in and do some adjustments.
Oh yeah, the players have been saying that there is a way to deny it, and that's to defeat the Protoss army before they get the critical number of Void Rays and the Sky Toss army. What they do is use the Hydras, use the Vipers to pull the units away from the main army. Or if you see the Void Rays pump, go for the Fungals. The reason why this is so hard is because you have when Protoss players only have to do like 2 or 3 things at a time to push out with the Sky Toss army, Zerg players have to do 5 or 6 things at the same time.
Yeah, as we saw, 14 drones have been killed off by those Phoenix there, and now Shine, it looks like he's getting ready to gear up for an attack here. He's moving out with his main army, but Best, with some excellent macro here, he has a large army of his own, and he's actually right behind the Protoss player, or Zerg player in terms of supply. And here we go. It looks like we're going to have an engagement. One force field, 2 force fields going down, and there's a blink right under. The Corruptors is going to try to snipe off some of them. Excellent force fields from Best here. And wow, look at those Stalkers completely annihilating the Corruptors. 2 Colossi still remain, and all of those Hydras and Roaches, they are just going to get obliterated now by those Colossi.
Also, I want to point out the fantastic positioning that Best had, putting the Colossus in the back and using the force field to block out the entire army. You know, some players are like, oh, I think I could win this game, and force field only half the army while leaving half in the front, and that is the reason why they lose the game. And this is possible because it's Neoplanet S, because of the small chokes and Best just sitting in this area. You only need 4 or 5 force fields to block off the army completely, and Best use the advantage, his position as advantage.
Yeah. Looks like we have a little bit more of a skirmish over here. The Zerglings didn't really accomplish anything, unfortunately, for Shine, and this expansion is unknown to Best, I think, right now. And is he going to send any units over there? It looks like Best, he's just going to go for the 4th base, potentially, of Shine. He's sending a few units over there, not committing his entire army, though, because he feels like there could be another attack from the other side of the map, which Shine, I guess, he's being indecisive about.
Well, I think he actually saw the main army being pulled back, and also he saw the number of Stalkers at the 4th base. If a Protoss army was pretty much committing to the attack, he would have seen the Colossus and everything else around this area. So Shine knows what Best was going for. But we do have units out on the way for Shine, and does Best have an answer for it?
That is the question here. Best has a lot of Blink Stalkers, though, so he is going to be able to use those to his advantage. Shine, he does have the corner expansions now. They're not necessarily online, but that is 13 Mutalisks on the way. Best, he has no idea about them. He still has 2 Phoenixes, but that's simply not enough to deal with the Mutas, and he's going to have to use that large Stalker number to really make something happen here.
Yeah, the problem is the mobility. The Mutas are so fast now, and now they're at the natural. He actually split up his units perfectly, so he has enough Stalkers back at home to deflect the attack, while also going for the 4th base. At the same time, the 4th base is gone.
4th base does get taken down here, and now it looks like Shine, he's still, it looks like, okay, he's going to retreat now, and Best, he's, uncharacteristically, Best has like 2 split armies right now. No, this could be bad for Best now. That Colossus, it's going to get sniped down here, and all these Stalkers, they're going to have to blink and get out of there.
Yeah, well, it seems like Best has overextended a little bit at the last second. Granted, he still has the high number of Stalkers, which is good enough to deflect the Muta army. His main army is joining with the secondary army, and all he has to do is push down while making sure that the Mutas do not take out the 3rd base.
All right, looks like we have a Zealot here discovering that bottom right-hand base. And I think Best, he's going to know about that creep now at the main, and he'll be able to warp in some units there and eventually take it out. Oh, looks like a missed rally there. That Colossus was just kind of, you know, out in the open. And we have more army splitting from Best here. This is just so uncharacteristic of this matchup, but he has a lot of Stalkers here. Well, that is a humongous Muta count. He already has 31 Mutas out on the way. Best going for the 3rd base. Shine just counterattacking. Best is unfortunately going to lose his 3rd base here, and, you know, well, never mind. He's going to be using these Stalkers here to try to save that, but just, you know, Best really all over the map with his units. He's attacking so many bases at once, and he's going to be able to save his 3rd.
Well, he does save the 3rd for losing all of the probes at the 3rd base. Granted, he was able to deflect the Mutas. He has the 3rd base up for himself. Even if the main is mined out, all he has to do is not make extra probes, just move the probes over there. Behind this, he is dealing so much damage around with these Stalkers around the map.
I'm looking at Best's food and how much money he has. He actually has a lot of minerals in the bank, about 1,500. He has a decent amount of gas as well, so I guess, I don't know, maybe Best is trying to transition into some High Templar, but now that pylon is discovered and getting taken out by those Zerglings, and will he be able to save it? Well, we don't know yet.
We don't know yet. So Best is splitting up his army because of the Mutas. He can't move his whole army out of the map, or he is forced into the base trade scenario. But this is a really good play by Best. He is